Hi, I'm Chart Gal Lori, and I'm part of the Chart Guys community. I've been a trader and technical analyst for 8 years. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the indices, commodities, crypto, and movers and shakers of the day. Coming to you from Kauai. Let's take a look at today's market recap for February 12th, 2024. So today we had a mixed bag out there as far as the heat map. We had our bigger names were red and heavy, like Microsoft and Apple, Google, and Amazon. They were red and heavy, but we had semis that were outshining a lot of names, and they had a big give back. We'll take a look at that. We had a mixed bag in healthcare. XLF was pretty green on the day. They look good. XLE was green. Industrials held up really well, and consumer defense have held up well. So we'll get to the story of what happened with semiconductors in just a second. Let's look at the calendar for tomorrow. We have CPI tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. and the number we're looking for year over year is going to be 2.9, and anything with the 2 in front of it should be well received. So 2.9. All right. So semiconductors, this is the biggest story of the day. So I'm going to start there and then I'll go look at the indices. So with semiconductors, we had a huge gap up and then we gave it all back and then some on a lot of the big names that were moving hard and fast today. And for me, this looked like de-risking ahead of CPI tomorrow. We have a lot of semiconductor charts that are extremely inflated, and they have had huge run-ups without building structure on the way up. So when you don't build structure on the way up, if you come back in, you tend to fall down a little bit faster because you have no support. And I think that's what happened on a lot of semiconductor names. We had all of that, we gave it back. So in the sequencing of trading, if we're looking at the sequence here, we had to look above and fail, and then we gave it back. So tomorrow we'll be looking for hourly lower highs on most of the semi names, and we'll look at some individual names, but that is the setup going into tomorrow. Now, save what happens with CPI. If CPI has a mega bullish reaction, then of course I'm not going to be stepping in front of the NVIDIA bull train, but this is the technical setup going into tomorrow. Is there was a lot of de-risking in the names that have been running really hard, like SMCI and NVIDIA. All right, let's go take a look at the indices and the VIX. So VIX was up pretty big today. People were buying a lot of insurance into tomorrow. In my opinion, that's why VIX was green this morning when the market was green and VIX was very green. It's because of people are buying insurance to hedge for tomorrow's report. So let's look at ES. So on ES, we got a new all-time high today, and then we recoiled and gave a lot of it back. We're closing down here with a potential 15-minute bear flag on the market. So now on the next bounce, we're looking for an hourly lower high, and that's going to be the story with NASDAQ. Lower highs. So we're still holding the 4-hour EMA. So it comes down to the 4-hour chart. As long as these 12 EMAs are holding, then bulls are in control of your chart. Whatever chart you look at, if 4-hour 12 EMA is holding, bulls are in control. All right, so NASDAQ had a pretty big give back. Of course, we know that from semiconductors. And this was the star of the show. Here is the queen of the day. This was the Russell's Super Bowl today, and they were the Chiefs. They won. So we got a higher high. We have enough room for a daily higher low. We have a squeeze. Just a beautiful chart. And we're closing here with an hourly bull flag. It looks great. And we were up 1.83%. Incredible. And I'll tell you the name that's going along with that is XBI. XBI, I commented to the members this weekend. I love the squeeze. I had someone ask and requested tickers about XBI, and I had not taken a look at it in a few days. I like the squeeze, the hold of 50 RSI, and I love this turn of the EMAs. So it was one of my picks for this weekend, and it had a wonderful day, and it was my pick, one of my picks in pregame today. If you watch that, I like XBI. And it went along with that IWM move, the Russell, they go hand in hand. Bitcoin, huge bullish day. It was up 5.5% at one point. It's up, testing resistance again. We are obviously in a risk-off environment. When the Russell and Bitcoin are leading the charge higher, that means there's not a ton of fear in the market. And we'll see how this holds into tomorrow. But if you're a Bitcoin trader, you're just staying in back burner mode until, which means you're looking for 5 and 15-minute oversold conditions for potential buying until the bears prove otherwise. And then the crypto miners are doing even better than Bitcoin because these institutions are allowed to buy Riot, Mara, Coin in their clients' accounts, but they can't buy Bitcoin in some scenarios. They're more accessible. And they have a short float, so they run a little bit faster. The dollar, I think this 4-hour chart is just going to go sideways into tomorrow. I can't offer you meaningful TA. We got a weekly higher high last week with the upper wick. We had a look above and fail. We do have enough room for a weekly higher low. And I think the way this 4-hour chart resolves, it has a lot to do with CPI. Again, XLF had a great day. I had Queen of the Mountain trade JPM with his 4-hour squeeze that Denzi was pointing out this morning, and it's a high compression squeeze, the orange dots. I love this chart into today, into this morning, and then while I was live for our members this morning, we hit 173.67, and I told our members this would be a good area to buy because it's typically a good area to buy because JPM loves to trade very technically. It's very straightforward. You're not going to have a lot of fake outs like you do on Apple or Neo. You have lots of fake outs. In my experience, JPM trades very technically. It held Friday's low by 3 cents and had an incredible bounce. It bounced 2%. That's a lot for a banking name. And then Goldman Sachs has a beautiful high compression squeeze on the daily. That was my other pick, and it had a really good day. It gave back more than what bulls would have liked to have seen, but overall the daily structure looks really good. Healthcare, again, they closing up at the high of day. They look great. No problems here on healthcare. Potential daily bull flag. Let's look at that lower wick. Let me kind of zoom in here. Look at that lower wick of bulls buying the dip. That's what you want to see in potential daily bull flags. Gold is weak, and I don't think we're going to have a resolution to this until tomorrow's CPI reaction. Oil, I'm looking for that daily lower high, so I have a more bearish bias on oil up here near resistance as we scout the daily lower high. Apple, let me show you how Apple does people dirty. So we look above, like here, and then we give it all back. It does that often. So today we lost daily support on Apple. Apple is weak, and I started the pregame this morning, and my country comment was Apple is the fly in the bull's ointment for the market. Market bulls, Apple is a problem. The structure is not great. We have the daily 50 MA overhead, and we really need to clear out this daily 50 MA overhead, and it was heavy today, super heavy. We closed the potential 15-minute bear flag. Again, look above 188.37. We broke that resistance and fell, and then it rolled over. Microsoft broke Friday's low by 26 cents. I believe I calculated earlier. Yeah, 24 cents. Yeah, 24 cents it broke Friday's low. I'm calling that a daily double bottom for now, but you don't want to look at a chart that has a rounded top like this. So Friday it hit a new all-time high. We got a quick 15-minute oversold back burner bounce this morning. We were looking at it here, but then it promptly gave all that back. This is not a great looking chart, but we got a new all-time high Friday, so we have to give them a break. Everybody gets a break here and there. PLTR was one of my picks. I like this name, and I'm going to keep this name on back burner watch as long as the bulls are buying the dips like this. And then we talked about semiconductors, about what we'll be looking for those lower highs tomorrow. ARM was an absolute beast. We had a 40% move from open to 164, and we gave a lot back, but you got to give it to these bulls. This was such a nice recovery, and they never let the 5-minute RSI get oversold. I was waiting for 5-minute oversold here, and I ended up stepping in and buying it. I did not hold it as long as I should have, but that's okay. I got a little piece of it out of this oversold bounce. And this was my focus today. On the show this morning, I told everyone ARM is my bull focus for the day. These bulls were ravenous. NVIDIA broke the low of day when ARM didn't. And again, it looks like some profit taking and de-risking ahead of CPI tomorrow. So I'll be looking to top fish Nvidia tomorrow on a bearish reaction to CPI. SMCI, this name went guns a-blazing, and then it got a new lower low on the day, and then it had a nice bounce. So we bounced from Friday's high. I tell y'all every day, if you're listening on my videos, I'm constantly saying mark up your charts. Find the high of the prior day, the low of the prior day, and it helps so much with trading right here within 10 cents and bounce. Tesla was heavy. They had a lot of hit pieces this weekend. They discounted their prices. It's just heavy. Bulls are hoping for a daily inverse head and shoulders to form. I don't know that they're going to get it, but if these articles and downgrades keep happening, they won't. But a daily inverse head and shoulders possible. Now let's take a look at cannabis. Cannabis, MSOS, bulls are looking for weekly higher lows, and they want that sooner than later. If we open up weak tomorrow, this could be a dip buying opportunity on MSOS. And the other name I will be looking to dip buy is TCNNF. I will be watching this one tomorrow for a weekly higher low. And that is it. I told you about CPI. Yep. Okay, that's it for the market recap.